Hey everyone, for today's video, I am back over on Rainy Day, and today I am telling you everything you need to know when it comes to fishing. This is going to be the unlimited fishing guide. Now, before we jump into this video, please drop a like right now, which is the big thumbs up button, and please don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and let me know in the comments section if this video has helped you out and what other type of guides you want to see. Now, let's explain fishing. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we actually need to do the command/shop. And then in the shop section under items, you can go ahead and buy a fishing rod. Once you have bought a standard fishing rod, you're going to need to find an island with an enchanting table. My island is public, so you can come on over and do IS Visit Amy Games. I have a standard enchanting table in here if you do wish to use it. What you're going to want to do is with that fishing rod, you're going to need to have some lapis to be able to do this. Again, lapis is from mining, but it's also sold in auction house, or you can ask in game and see if any players are willing to sell it for you. You're going to drop that fishing rod in here, and we're also going to drop some lapis, and you'll see, like vanilla Minecraft, you have the ability to add enchants. A couple of things to know is the default is lure 3, and that is what you're trying to get to, lure 3, to improve your fishing speed. The next thing to note though is actually you can go up to lure 6, and so players will be selling those fishing rods. So you might not want to do step 1, which is buy a fishing rod off the shop and enchant it with lapis. You might just want to see if there is a player who has already locked lure 6 and is willing to sell their fishing rod. Again, check auction house, ask in game, because when you have a lure 6 fishing rod, it is much faster. I'm just going to show you guys quickly as to how fast the fishes catch versus a fishing rod without any enchants at all. You kind of already get the idea of how long this is going to take. Now, the second thing to note is your fishing pond size. There's no requirements on here, so you can have a 1 block of water if you wanted to. I just made a cute decorative fishing pond, but there is no size limit, so you can have any size fishing pond. It does not matter about length, height, or depth. It can be any size at all. As an example, typically I always go for a 5x5 1 deep. That's just my go-to, but again, this isn't 5x5. I did a funky design, so there is no requirement. Now, the next thing that you need to know about is how to repair your fishing rod. So whether you have a fishing rod with lure 3 because you've enchanted it yourself and you're waiting until you can unlock lure 6, or whether you've bought a lure 6 fishing rod off the auction house, or off a player in game. The more that you use your fishing rod, regardless if you have unbreaking on it or not, it will start to reduce damage. And so you can kind of see the bar is kind of going down the more that I use this. Now, when it kind of gets to the very lower end of the bar, that is when you're going to want to fix your fishing rod. Now, you are going to need an anvil. Because I have high rank, I can do the command/anvil, but you will need to craft an anvil and place one on your island. With that anvil, you're going to drop your fishing rod in this slot. It's important to put your fishing rod that has all your enchants in this slot. Do not do it where you're putting your fishing rod with the enchants here, because you are at risk of losing them. So put it here, and then a fishing rod that has not been used and has no enchants, and you can see here it will repair it, and it tells you for how much XP it's going to cost to repair it. You're then going to get the exact same fishing rod, but obviously it's fully repaired, so you can start to use it and grind again. Biggest thing to talk around is enchants. There are a lot of enchants that you're going to want to get a hold of for your fishing rod. Again, I'm just going to hover over my fishing rod so you can get an idea of the enchants that I have. So vanilla enchants that you can get with lapis is lure 3 as a starter without unlocking any studies. As you start to unlock studies, which I'll explain what that means in a second, but stick with me for a second, you can get up to lure 6 from grinding. Essentially, the more fish you catch, you unlock more studies, and then a higher level of study means that you can go up to lure 6. As I've mentioned, ask in game and see if a player is selling a lure 6 fishing rod. Regardless if you have it unlocked or you don't have it unlocked, you can still use a lure 6 fishing rod. You can also repair a lure 6 fishing rod and you will keep your lure 6, okay? The second vanilla enchant that you're going to want to get is Unbreaking 3. You can go to Unbreaking 4, however, you need to unlock Unbreaking 4 from a mining study, which is the terracotta one, okay? Again, you can always repair your fishing rod with an anvil, so it's not the end of the world, in my opinion, to try and grind for Unbreaking 4. I think Unbreaking 3 is more than enough. And the final vanilla enchant is actually Luck of the Sea 3, which I do not have on my fishing rod right now. The next ones after that are what we call custom enchants, okay? Now, custom enchants are from the custom books. Again, you can get these from grinding and then being able to craft to be able to unlock them. You can also get them from crates. You can get them from missions. So check out Auction House, because normally people do sell the custom enchants on here. So things like here, you'll see some of these books. Some of these will be custom enchants. Now, the custom enchants that you're going to want for fishing include Quality Catch 3. That is the highest level that you can get to, and that is for high rated fish. You can then go for Big Catch 3. That is for larger fish. Again, if I kind of just do this one and show you in here, you can kind of go through and you'll be able to see all of the different enchants as I'm talking about this. The next one is actually Fish Finder 5. Again, the one on screen right now. This has an increased chance of catching a higher fish. And then the final custom enchant that you're actually going to want is Steel Hull 3. And Steel Hull 3 is essentially increasing your fishing rod durability. So that is kind of helping with your unbreaking side of things to an extent. The next thing that you're also going to need for fishing is actually some Clash armor, okay? So under here you can see the recipes. I have a whole video dedicated on Clash Guide. I recommend going to check that out to understand how you unlock all of this. But in here I recommend getting the enhanced version of Clash armor. So you can kind of come across and you'll see in here we have the enhance, which is where it says base, it says enhance, and these are the ones that you're going to want to grind for fishing. The aim is to only obviously add fishing scales. What I have begun to do is I've begun to max a set out with only level 15, and then I'm going to have other pieces which have kind of like enchant Clash scales of like 12, 13. Those ones are going to go on a set just so that I can try to use them, and then I'm going to have a separate set that just has scales level 15 on them. So for example, my boots have only got level 15 scales on them. Now, when you max out your attributes, so that means I can put 5 fishing scales total on my Clash boots, you get an automatic bonus. Now, for the bonuses, you really want to be going for Hooked, because Hooked is just, it provides you the chance to find Clash drops. So for example, as I've been fishing with my armor pieces, this gives you an idea of the type of drops that you're getting. Obviously, you then use those to craft more Clash armor pieces, but it's also really good because you can sell them. You can sell them in game, you can sell them on Auction House. Players do buy these, so I think it is really important to max your set out and then aim for Hooked. The final thing for Clash that I also want to mention is I personally think it's worth also creating a merchant set, because the merchant scales are actually a bit of a sell boost. Now, I haven't actually tested this out yet, but I'm pretty sure this works for fishing. So I definitely do recommend trying to get a merchant set as well as a fishing set. It's nice because the merchant scales have a maximum level of 1, so it's not like you have to like continuously grind. If you get a merchant scale, it's always going to be the same level. The next thing that we are going to talk about, I don't know why I'm putting a hole in my island because it's not very demure of me, it's actually the weather. So the weather changes on your island. Again, I have a separate video that explains weather, so please go and check that out if you're not sure what weather is all about. But for fishing, you are going to want to have snowy weather. If I kind of come back over to island upgrades and just hover over, you can see the buff that snowy weather gives you. Again, it is an island upgrade, so I recommend upgrading your island snowy weather buff. But then also, if you have got snowy weather totems and your weather on your island isn't snowy and you're planning to fish, definitely use that snowy weather totem to convert your weather to snowy to help you when you are fishing. The next thing is fish collectors. So again, I have a separate video on what these are and how these collectors work, but I highly recommend fish collectors. All of the fish that I've been catching has been filling up quite fast, so you will see in here I have been upgrading my fish collector, and actually I'm just 500 fish away from maxing this out again, so I'm going to have to upgrade the capacity at some point. But I highly recommend getting a fish collector if you don't already have one, and making sure that it's in the same chunk as your fishing pond that you have built. Okay, after that we actually are going to talk around potions. So in the command / dungeons, you can see in here the option for getting your keys, but you actually have the brewing option. Now in here you've got the ability to get a potion which will increase your fishing attributes by 100. So if you come on in here, you can actually view the recipe of this. You can see what you need to be able to craft it, and so I really recommend trying to get the ability of having this fishing potion is what I'm trying to get at. Try and craft the fishing potion because again, it gives you a boost. Now this is really good because it's increased for 1 hour. There's no cooldown, and you can craft them from the dungeon drops. I'm going to have a separate video explaining dungeons in a little bit more detail very soon. So for now, just kind of stick with me, but definitely grind dungeons and get a load of fishing potions. They last for an hour and there's no cooldown. So if you're planning to grind for 4 hours, make sure you've got 4 fishing potions at the ready. The next thing is multi-fishing, as what a lot of people may know this as. Other players might know this as multi-drop. If I do the command / attributes and I just hover over my player head, we will be able to see all the different boosts that I have. Now, as soon as you start fishing, you have essentially what you call 100% rate at 1 catch. Then if you get plus 400, so right now my fishing level is 20, but if you get plus 400, just as an example, where mine says 20, that then means that you have an increased buff. Okay, so the more things that you wear, so for example, if I just put my fishing boots on, right, and I come back into attributes and then I hover over my head, I've gone from 20 to 95, okay? So obviously the more armor pieces, the higher this number is going to go. When I pop a potion, this is going to increase more. So as an example, if I can get this to plus 300, okay, that means I have the chance to catch 3 to 4 fish within one go. So you need to try and boost this number as big as possible so that you're getting multiple fish in one go. Because then, as you're catching fish, you've got a higher proc chance. The next thing is pets. Now, pets are from pet eggs. You get a pet egg, you can open it up. You can also level your pets up. I'm going to have another separate video explaining these in a short while. However, you really want to be able to try and get the frog pet max. If you then have the frog pet on, this increases your attributes by 10 points per level. So I'm getting 20 points right now on my attributes because I have a frog pet. So definitely try and get a maxed frog pet where possible. Now, as you're fishing and you're catching fish, whether you're catching them and they're going in your inventory, or whether they're going into a chunk collector like so, which is what I have set up, you may find from time to time, if I kind of scroll through these, and it's going to be sad because I actually don't know if I have any, but in here you may catch what we call a special fish. And if you get a special fish, some people think, oh my gosh, what does this mean? But I kind of just wanted to highlight a special fish is just kind of a more rarer version. It's kind of like a collectible item. I highly recommend doing IS Visit Wild Tink because Tink actually has all of the special versions of the fish all listed out. So it's really cool way for you to come and see these. So a huge shout out to Tink. But however, what I'm trying to say is the special items don't give you anything more. I do believe they have a higher sell price, but it's more just like a collectible item. So I would recommend, if you do catch any special items, kind of display them in a nice photo frame, a bit like what Tink has done here. When it then comes to selling your fish, right, we need to do the command /fish first of all. And in /fish, you have all of the different studies. You also can do the command /studies as an example, and it takes you back to that main page. So right now we're actually on Underworld. But if I come over to Earth to begin with, and I just go over to the fish studies, this is what you will grind with. So you're kind of grinding all of these. So you start off with freshwater, and as you're going Earth, it shows you what you unlock. So you unlock the ability to catch a special item, then you look proficient, which is the next category of fish. You can then unlock another category. You then get in ×2 money sell drop. You then unlock law 6, and then you can unlock ×3 of the sell price for the fish. If it was me personally, I have not sold a single fish right now, and I am planning to try and grind to unlock that ×3 sell drop first, and only when I unlock that will I then sell all my freshwater fish. If I come back into each category, it's the same thing throughout. And now that we are also in the Underworld category, obviously you've also got the ability to catch these fish. Again, I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to try and grind to unlock that max sell boost. On top of that, as I've mentioned, you do want to have a clash set for merchant. I would do enhanced on your merchant set, and I would make sure that you're only putting merchant scales on it. And then for this, the bonus perk of the clash armor, it really does not matter at all. Now, because we've unlocked a different world, so we are now on Underworld, if you start fishing, you will be catching kind of a little bit of both fish from time to time. But what you can actually do is you can do the command IS fishing, or IS fish, not IS fishing, but you can do the command IS fish, and you can actually select the type of fish that you're looking to grind. So right now I could select this to Underworld and I would only catch these, or I can leave it on Earth to focus on my Earth fish for the time being. So that is also another cool thing to be aware about. Okay, so I hope this video has helped you guys out. Fishing is actually one of the most OP things to do this season. It makes a crazy amount of money, so I do highly recommend trying to check out fishing. I actually think the speed at law 6 is really fast. It's much more bearable to play with and be able to grind. I think it's not a slow process thing, it's not boring, and I absolutely love fishing. But I would recommend also really working on your clash sets if you are planning to fish, and also don't forget about your potions. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please drop a like right now, which is the big thumbs up button down below. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and let me know in the comments section if this video helped you, and I'll see you in another video very soon. But goodbye for now.